Hello and welcome to Wrestling in Mom's Basement. This is going to be our retro review, which is Survivor Series 2013. I, of course, Patrick Young. This gentleman to my right is my co-host, Joe Menuda.
Survivor Series 2013 took place on November 24th, 2013 from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts.
Huh, funny. SmackDown was just there.
Yeah, I wonder what show was better. Attendance 13,500. Commentators Doug Hall, Jerry Lawler, and John Rush Layfield. I have no idea. Before watching, I had no idea what happens here. If I remember right, it was something about Orton and then Reigns destroyed a bunch of people. It kind of makes me how easy 2013, so it's like easy to forget. Well, like sample from main event from almost any pay-per-view, like from 2005 or so. Anyway, let's get to it. Please. The show itself opens with Triple H and Stephanie rather than an opening video.
I told Joe, and it completely happened. I audibly groaned because I remembered 2013.
They guarantee no physical interference in any match tonight, not a single one. Assuming Boston is right, here's the opening match. After an opening video about the Flame of Survival, and also that is, as usual, the transitions into the video about the main events. Rey Mysterio, Goldust, Cody Rhodes, and the Usos versus Shield and Real Americans. Elimination match, of course. This is Mysterio's return from yet another injury at this point. Ambrose is US champion, and Cody and Goldust are tag team champions, having taken the belts from Reigns and Rollins recently. Before the match, Coulter rips on Americans for torture and even gives us a demonstration. David Ortiz gets insulted at ringside. David Ortiz gets assaulted as well by Zed until Cody cuts him off and torques a bit as well. So we started off with two promos, and one included Cody and Zed twerking.
Oh boy.
Cody and Dean get things going with Cody nailing him in the right hand. Dean comes out and closes out and argues about free law. Cody roll him up for a quick elimination. Aaron breaks down for a bit with the Usos and all four reigning opponents. Each Uso dives on a team.
And just to think how much of a main event that would be, like 10 years later.
Yep. Each Uso dives on a team and the good guys are in full control. We saw down the Cody suplex to set for two. Ultimate Goldust to a huge reaction, but Swire comes off in and blind tag and runs Goldust over. Cesaro stops Goldust. Cesaro over the top rope before coming to work on ribs. Swire gets two on the power slam as Cole screws up Survivor Series history, saying that Andre won the first Survivor Series match.
He won the Survivor Series main event.
Right. Cesaro jumps over Swire's shoulders for a double stop and slaps on Chinlock. Back up and Goldust grabs the DT, put both guys down. Goldust has elbow on his post for hitting a sunset bomb with Cesaro. On to Swire coming first. The Vader bomb hits Ray's boost though. And the hot tag brings up Mysterio. A quick 619 sets up a super kick from Jimmy and a super splash from Jay to make it 5-3. Cesaro comes in immediately with Swiss step for 2 on Jay. Both Usos get swung as Cesaro's most over person in the match. His reward, a sunset from Cody and an elimination. It's Reigns now and now to run over Jay, stop one in the corner. Rollins comes over elbow for 2 before it's back to Reigns working the alarm. Cole mistakenly says the Shield have developed rivalries over the years, but JBL points out that they've only been around for a year. And Cole says, well, you know what I mean. JBL says, no, not really. Jay finally gets her hot tag to Jimmy.
2013 commentary.
Jimmy,
providing you all the highlights.
Jimmy takes Reigns down a Samoan drop. The Roman Mob attack is super. Roman blocks the splash on his knees and nails the spear to make it 4-2. Cody comes in on a missile drop into Rollins as things speed up. The moonsault press gets 2 with a disaster. Takes call in the air. Rollins gets countered into crossroads or makes a blind tag, allowing Reigns to spear Cody for the elimination. Jay sends Reigns into the barricade but misses a high cross body back inside. Rollins makes an awkward tie come in for a curb stop as down to Mysterio and Goldust versus Reigns and Rollins. Reigns quickly taken down by Rollins, but he comes back with a kick to the head for 2. The advantage is short-lived as Reigns gets tied in trio woe for a run drop kick to the ribs. Reigns throws out the 4v, but the spear hits the post by mistake. It's quickly back to Rollins to drop his skull off the apron on the cut and a roll for a face pin. It's Reigns versus Goldust Mysterio, but Seth gets some cheap shots on Mysterio before he leaves. Reigns says to charge Reigns into the buckle, tags at Goldust to clean house. A spine buster points Reigns, and then Goldust hammers away the quarter. Goldust kills the power slam and a spinning cross body for 2. Each Bulldogs countered a spear for an all pin. So it's Mysterio versus Reigns at a 619 per gun with 2 spear to give Reigns the pin.
Yeah. As far as Survivor Series 10-man tags go, this one was perfectly acceptable. Not the most wildly exciting match, even though one person eliminated 4 people. Again, again, it's not bad, but it's not great. It's good.
The match was born to start. I thought it picked up a lot when Reigns was unleashed. Those was to start making performance that started Reigns was pushed to the moon, which would be driven in higher lane broke the elimination record in the Royal Rumble. The match itself was awesome to see, but the spears look great.
I give it a B minus.
B minus. Triple H, Kane, Steph here in the back when Orton comes in. He wants to make sure everyone's on the same page and demanding respect from the authority on Monday. Triple H wants to know if he just make sure everything's okay or if Orton's asking him to save him tonight. We get the usual face of WWE speech where Steffi tells him to go prove it. Intercontinental title, Big E likes...
If only Orton could go try to grab the brass ring after 12 years.
Intercontinental title, Big E Langston defending against Curtis Axel. Langston took the title from Axel on Monday. This is the rematch. Axel pulls on a headlock because taking out pure power. With that not working, Curtis starts going to the line for almost the same result. Big E busts out leaf fly before just running Axel over and runs slash the cord, crushes Axel again, and includes on this too. They head outside for a few seconds with Axel knocking Langston on the apron, get the first advantage. Back in Curtis puts on chin lock before Langston fights him with a big belly belly. The Warrior splash connects, but Axel grabs a quick perfect punch for two. Back up and then Big E retains the title with ease.
So I'll start with the positives for this match. There wasn't really anything messed up wrestling-wise there. But on the negative side, it happened. It was total filler. They went in the ring, they did moves to each other. Meat was slapped. Not both of them are big, but Meat was slapped and they got out of there.
This was final side match, more of a formality. Langston was getting a solid push around Sam until they suddenly pulled the plug on him. Axel has the same result, but at least he got to be in tag team. Hopefully Langston can get somewhere with the New Day stuff. I won't get my hopes up.
I give it a D+.
See. Post-match, Big E talks about being in Boston, but doesn't want to look like he's pandering to the people here in Boston. AJ gets a true D. Hey, AJ gets a true D. It's a big pep talk, but they don't buy into it. Rosa Mendez says, "Do you think you're better than all of us?"
Rosa, come here. Come here. Lean into your device. Come on, lean in. She is.
AJ says yes. Caitlyn goes on there rant about all the horrible things AJ has done. But AJ says this is about Total Divas not wanting them. The champs, AJ's advice for tonight, start your own show by stealing this one. And boy, do they steal it. Yep. Total Divas versus True Divas. Total Divas, Bella Twins, Natalia, Funky Dactyls, JoJo, and Eva Marie. True Divas, AJ Lee, Tamina Snuka, Summer Rae, Rosa Mendez, Alicia Fox, Oksana, and Caitlyn.
Woof.
Elimination tag, let's get this over with. Fox works over Naomi in the quarter start and slams her down for one. She puts Naomi on top of his elbow down, set up a split-legged moonsault to get rid of Fox. Thank you. Rosie comes in and...
Actually, I shouldn't be clapping. Alicia's far from the worst one.
Not even on her team.
Not even on her team.
This is probably third best on her team.
Yeah.
Third or fourth best. The Rosa comes in and voices the rear view before it's off to Cameron. And Rosa, this can't go on.
Sounds like a wrestling classic right there.
And a double split leg drop on the Funky Dactyls. They still need Naomi in the ring though. Get two on Mendez. As we hear about the Total Divas each having their own unique personality.
That's not a good sign. Cameron needed Naomi to just threaten somebody.
Rosa.
Threatening your fall.
Oh, Rosa. As we hear about how each Total Diva has their own unique personality.
Shouldn't technically all of them have a total unique personality?
Alright, sidebar.
Because, you know, you have different characters.
Sidebar, let's go through them. Alright, just for the hell of it, because this review will be running short too. At this rate. Brie Bella.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much description on any of the matches.
Alright, Brie Bella's personality. Hippie vegan who wears a hat. No. Hippie vegan who saves her own poop.
And is a holiday drunk.
And has real boobs. Nikki Bella, holiday drunk with fake boobs who wears a hat.
And isn't vegan.
Right. I still watch John
She takes a lot of John Cena meat.
still wants John Cena's meat and babies. And she's
Alright, that was a little harsh, but...
Alright, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Natalia, she's a heart. Naomi, she's married to a Uso. Well, that was her personality this time.
In 2013, yeah, that's about all Naomi.
Alright, fine, 2023.
That's at least what Total Divas brought out.
Alright, my bad. Current knockout champion. Cameron, sucks. JoJo, I'm not gonna make fun. Ava Marie.
The nicest thing you can probably do there is...
Yeah, come on out.
She was a pretty good...
ring announcer.
Ring announcer,
there you go. Ava Marie. That's one person out of most of this match. I mean, I gotta be honest.
She does.
Probably
Her best feud may have actually been with a doll.
Yeah, because it might have been somebody to have one person out of her. She didn't have to be the charisma one for a change. No, yeah, she was the best one of the. She was the best member of this case until Divas, I would definitely say, in terms of storylines. Well, you know what the hell? Well, I'll go for True Divas personalities too. AJ Lee, awesome. Tamina Sucker, well that's her personality. Sucker. Summer Rae, blonde. Rosa Mendes withheld the info of Vince cheating on Linda for all those years. That's why she had a job for as long as she did. She had the tapes. Alicia Fox.
Yeah, it's true. She
A
did last a
drunk.
while.
A former drunk. Oksana. Lithuanian. Caitlyn. His best opponent was AJ Lee. Alright, moving on. Alright, back to the match, because they each had their own all 14 women had their own unique personality.
No. They just, like you said, they didn't say all 14. They said the Team Total Divas is good because they each have a different personality. Shouldn't all of your wrestlers have a different personality?
Right, so anyway.
Aren't you just pointing out a huge problem there? And by the way, no, your Team Total Divas didn't all have a good personality. That was different.
Anyway, they still have Rosa and Cameron going together. Rosa says a charge of Cameron to the middle.
Some would say that if you're on a quiet night, you could still hear that they're still trying to wrestle.
This is fun. Rosa says a charge of Cameron to the middle buckle for a pin. I never seen nobody lose to the middle buckle before. One. And number two, I think it's like Rosa Mendez's only pinfall in WWE. But that doesn't last long because Mendez starts dancing but turns into a bell buster from Nikki for an elevation. Summer comes in wearing orange and blue for a dance off with Nikki. Summer does a split against dropkick to make it 6-4 for Total Divas. She wants to do a dropkick.
And maybe the high spot of the match.
Ava Marie comes in and gets booed out of the building. Caitlyn doesn't like her either, answers her with a quick core buster and make it 5-4. Naomi comes in and takes...
Thank you, Caitlyn.
Naomi comes in and takes a gut buster of her own for the pin. Tied up 4 now, a brief throw with Caitlyn down 2. Caitlyn misses the spear and gets caught by a bad looking missile dropkick for an all pin. I'm not leaving anything out in the play-by-play here. These falls are just going that fast. AJ kicks Brie from behind, allowing Oksana to hit a bad spine buster to eliminate Brie.
And which may be Oksana's
only
pinfall. But you know what? She pinned Brie Bella, which is a feat in 2013.
A rack attack ends Oksana about 10 seconds later. And we're down to AJ and Tamina versus Nikki, Natalia, and JoJo. Tamina comes in and laid Nikki out with headbutts, and Nikki's nice enough to smile for half of the meeting. Nikki gets thrown into Natalia, and it's all to JoJo, who has almost no in-ring experience. She deals a quick crossbody and roll up for 2, before Tamina just kicks her head off. A Samoa drop points JoJo and AJ comes in for the pin. The announcer says 2-1 because Nikki Bella is not forgettable. Tamina charges into Natalia in the corner, but misses the super fly splash, allowing Natalia to hook the sharpshooter for the elimination. AJ comes in and gets nailed by Nikki because she wasn't eliminated yet, so but on sharpshooter, so the Total Divas can win.
In actuality, probably like the last 2 minutes or so were somewhat decent. The rest of this was an absolute cluttered mess, and barely anyone cared.
Oh, are you going to give it a degree?
No.
You don't really have much to say on these matches.
No.
This one worst match of the year from Meltzer. Oh, I'll agree with you. And it's really easy to see why. It was clear they had no idea how to do more than a few spells, and they had to fly for these matches as fast as they could. I can't stand these matches, but the fans hate
Half
it.
the women didn't even know how to wrestle.
That's not true. There was 14 of them in the match. The Bellas knew how to wrestle. Or not yet. No.
Nikki would improve later on.
So we're not counting her yet, though, right?
Yeah.
Natalia.
Okay, yeah.
Naomi. We're not yet.
She was athletic, but she didn't know what to do with herself.
Cameron.
Crap, no.
JoJo.
No.
Ava Marie.
No.
AJ Lee.
Okay, yeah.
Tamina. Next to the rest of the fools.
Yeah.
Summer.
Summer isn't bad.
Thank you. Rosa Mendez.
Yeah, she's not good.
Alicia.
She can do fine on occasion. She was pretty athletic.
Alright, if we get the last two, it will at least make it half. Oksana.
No.
Oh, damn. And Caitlyn.
Yeah, Caitlyn was good, but like her
run.
Yeah, her only like strong opponent was AJ, but that's not necessarily saying much in this era.
I can't say.
Although it does seem like she did want to try and do things.
I can't say these messes, but the face hit you on even Marie made up for a bit for me. In case this wasn't enough for you, though, here's a fun fact I didn't know. There was a rematch with an elimination gimmick the next night. Oh, Raw.
See, this is what Gift Diva's chance was about. To come up with something else besides what you did exactly the night before.
Untitled Divas won that one, too. So I'm not sure what the point was. I think it's how beat AJ.
The point was to advertise Total Divas to the audience that wasn't going to watch Total Divas.
I think that's how beat AJ that one, too, so I'm not really sure what the point was. Anyway, the great. Of course. Orton Aces referenced Charles Robinson to help him out tonight, but Robinson says he'll do what the authority told him to do. Expert panel time by Ryback's music custom alt. Ryback says his favorite wrestlers remember to show him all these old timers. He can't intimidate anyone here, but that doesn't make him bully. It's like the channel side, so let's have a WrestleMania rematch. Ryback versus Mark Henry. This is another return for Henry. They fight real lock up to start, and Ryback talks you even more trash. Henry catches himself in first race, so Ryback goes after the knee. For two, Ryback slams him down, but misses trying to post. Maybe the Goldberg chase messes with his head. Marcus now forces some JYD headbutts before bouncing this too. The World Strong slams counter into his spinebuster. Ryback takes out his straps. Ryback's meat hook is counter. With a crossbody, and now there's a World Strongest slam is enough for the pin.
So, Joe, I just want you to confirm to everybody in our audience that this is the most I wrote about anything on the show.
It's maybe time for the main event? Not once he says past the main event, barely.
And this was by far the shortest match on the show.
It was like 4 minutes.
Because, well, it really had no business being on the show. This was like a necessarily free match that, that wasn't advertised, but hey, you're getting an extra match. But somehow I still want my money back even in 4 minutes.
I can't remember the last time I saw such a worthless said back-to-back matches. Henry looked fatter than ever. Ryback's collapse continues. At the end of the day, the guy came back so many times that I was trying hard to hear. The fact that he's aching up the whole pain hour now, Henry makes things even worse.
There
you go. We reached out Cena versus Del Rio. Cena had to lead into a bad arm, but came back to take the World Championship from Del Rio, like the main event jumper that he was. This is the rematch, and Del Rio's going to the arm, of course. World Championship, John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio. Cena's the defending hometown boys, and a split chase begin. They fight over a headlock to start until Del Rio tosses him down for a headlock, and some of the most obvious spot holes I've ever seen. Back up, and Del Rio steps on Cena's head before a snap suplex gets through. Cena powers out of an armbar, but Del Rio steps on the outside into the steps. They head back inside, and the armbar continues to hold the slow pace. Cena fights up again, but misses charging the buckle, keep Del Rio in control. Alberto avoids the shoulder block as Cena falls outside again, so Del Rio can stay on the arm. It closes like it's still in the champ, and we had another armbar. Del Rio talks about doing 2 things to Cena because he's really bad spot call. Cena powers up again, hits a close on, and walking to the backside for 2. Alberto goes up, but dives into a dropkick, put both guys down again. Back up at the Pro Bomb, looks to shuffle with Cena, takes too long. All Del Rio score with DT. Alberto misses charges Rondo, and both guys are down again. The champs face the sequence of counter again. They're German suplex, so he outs for Canadian DT for 2. The Enziguri knocks Cena with the apron, and the dueling champs begin again. Del Rio pulls him into tornado low as charges the post on the seat. There's the top rope favors her for 2, and until the world backbreaker is the safe in Del Rio. Alberto calls a cross-arm breaker against a huge C chant. Cena rolls through the Asiato, sending Del Rio rolling the ropes. The low super kick is 2 on John. And his belly-to-belly backbreaker is the save for the champ. Cena's cross bodies found their arm breaker, but he counts up into a powerbomb back up, and the AA retains Cena's title.
I think it's a more or less a running theme where we get this match and none of them are actually ever good. Del Rio can be decent when he wants to be, and Cena's really good. But another match really click. However, this one I may have seen worse from them before, and this might actually be their best. Yeah, not really much more to add there. Cena wins as expected.
Del Rio was basically the new Chris Jericho at this point when Jericho was in the company. He'll win the world title every now and then, but then he's a little more than a cannon fodder for Cena. I have no reason to believe that Cena's going to tap out the arm breaker, and every time Del Rio went for the hole, it felt like a waste of time. Alberto's style makes perfect sense for him, but it's a waste of time to get Cena. The match was good for them, but the ending was not what to build.
C.
C+. Santino and Truth play with toys, only to be joined by Los Matadores, El Torrio, Fandango, and Giant Ace.
Yep, that sounds all 2013.
We returned the Wyatts versus Bryan and Punk. Bray sold both of them as heroes that needed destroyed, so he crushed Bryan's head and landed Punk in general. Bryan came out for the save, and we got a tag match. The timeline makes it a bit better. The Wyatts versus the Beard and the Best. CM Punk and Daniel Bryan versus the Wyatt family. Bray holds on the layer and says Abigail told Punk and Bryan will become deals. She was right. Bryan kicks the Roman's late start. Quickly shoved out. More kicks the legs of Roman to the good corner for a time for Punk. The fans are very pleased with the tattooed hero, but Eric drives her into the corner to take over. Also, Harper is the family, so Mercedes turns looking at Punk's ribs. Rowan slaps on a beer hub, but Punk slips out a suplex and tags him. Bryan, their combined forces can't suplex Rowan, though, so he says both guys flying at the same time. Things sell down, the Punk and Bryan start taking away the corner, and now they can't suplex Rowan down. And then, naturally, the announcers were debating if Rowan was like Michael Myers or not.
The important questions.
Back to Harper, but Punk easily drives back into the corner as well. A double drop kick sends up Bryan's next kick, so we go old school for hard attack for 2. Punk is distracted by Eric, though, allow Harper to take Punk's head off and tie him to all 3. A backbreaker to Super Roman is back to Luke for the Digger roll. Rowan starts talking to the mace on the post as Luke is too with the Mexican coup driver. Rowan comes back in, charging a boot in a corner, followed by Tornado DDT. Way too common to move anymore. There's the hot tag to Bryan, who comes in with all his usual stuff. Luke gets kicked to the floor for the flying goat. Back there, missile drop kick gets with a big yes kick his corner and powerbomb. Bryan counters a Hurricane, but Luke counters his top rope, comes into a super set powerbomb. Floor right close too. Everett breaks down, and Rowan throws Punk out to the floor. A splash gets to him, Bryan, and sticks out back down. Harper runs Bryan over and chokes with the boot before tackle and first to the rope. Daniel fights back until Eric catches him in a half Nelson suplex. The monster gets too confident. And he goes into Punk on to get kicked in the head. The hot tag brings up Punk to clean house. Again, but he dies with Rowan and Wyatt instead of Harper. Back in the top rope elbow gets thrown loop, but Rowan breaks the GTS. That works on run knee, and the GTS ends Harper.
Honestly, this match is really good, but I don't necessarily have that much of a description of it. But yes, this was as good as expected. The Wyatts were at minimum a solid tag team even earlier in their run. And Punk and Bryan work well together. My match in the night.
My match in the night too. The face full was awesome. Never got past solid. Good for me. But Bryan Punk with a constant routine that you play there to fight monsters like these. But then that doesn't until they fight the master himself. At least Harper and Rowan are good enough to have a good match and look like real threats.
I give it a B.
That'd be mine. Bray sees his get back in, but backs down as you would expect. Cena's gets his arm left out with the authority next to him. Morgan comes in and says, please. So Cena leaves them to their chat. We recap Big Show versus Randy Orton. Big Show is basically blackmailed into being the authority's monster until lawsuits were threatened and Big Show was given anything he wanted rather than money, job security, or peace of WWE. He wanted a single WWE title shot. This went on for months and felt like it would never end.
And by the way, next year at Survivor Series, he would turn on them and join the authority.
Alright, long-term storytelling.
Yeah.
And sell a match that no one wanted to see. WWE title, Big Show versus Randy Orton. Champion Orton immediately beats the floor before going back in and getting shoved out again. Randy heads back in, then takes one of the loudest shots I've ever heard. Show tries to cool Orton from the floor but gets stabbed across the top rope. Big Shoulder gets showed too, but Orton follows Chris with a dropkick. We hit the front face lock as the crowd goes silent again. Instead, Orton shifts to a horrible sleeper until Show suplexes him down. Orton rolls outside to avoid a choke slam. So Show says no steps. Back as Show tries to go up for some reason, allowing the champ to crush him, and the elevated DDT. He takes too long to set up the RKO though, and he's a choke slam for 2. Show loads up the KO, but Orton peels outside, bumping into the referee's knee in the process. They head to the crowd. And they killed the beat, including a KO punch to knock Orton still on the floor. War about to have a new champion. Of course, there's authority. The distraction lets Orton nail an RKO, so a punt to retain the title.
Yeah, so, the fans in the arena didn't want this match. The viewers at home didn't want this match. I didn't want this match. And maybe even more importantly in this match, Orton and Big Show didn't want this match. They just didn't work well together. They're both more at a slower pace here and usually benefit from someone who can pick up the pace and sell for them. Neither guy really could do that for the other one here. And we pretty much got bored Randy Orton again.
This is basically the poor man's version of Del Rio versus Cena.
Yeah.
On the same card. The ending was never in doubt, as there was no way they were putting the belt on the show, but the match was really dull and boring throughout. I like Del Rio and Cena, which was just fine. This was the culmination of a terribly dull story, and then they move on to anything better, like Cena versus Orton. That's the French ending, right?
I mean, it's better than Orton versus Big Show.
Right.
It's better than Cena versus Big Show, to be fair, too.
Yeah.
I gave it an F.
F. Orton celebrates the Cena comes out holding his own belt to end the show. Overall, this one together.
F.
F.
Yeah, minus the top 3 matches that I graded. Oof. Yeah, there's decent moments here, but there's nothing. But there's a shit ton of bad and boring to make this one slog in your mind. I even fast forward through a lot of it, and it still felt like 7.5 hours.
Yeah, this show's a roller coaster. The first part was just kind of near, then went straight down, then up for Cena and Bryan Punk, then down for a hold for the finish. Alright, my fault. I didn't include Del Rio, Harper, and Rowan. Okay. For Cena and Bryan Punk, Harper, and Rowan. Then down for a hold for the finish. October and November is just a horrible time for the company when Vince was in charge. Every year. And this is probably the low point for the Survivor Series. Off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
There are far worse shows. But man alive, this show felt worthless. It's not just Asia's show. I felt like it could have been any given B show, rather than the second longest pay-per-view ever. That's a bad sign for a show that's important. Next Friday, Step Up, I think most will agree, Survivor Series 2009.
Yeah, apparently we're jumping into our Survivor Series reviews.
2 months early.
Yeah. It's Google randomizing everything, so.
Would you like an LTNA pay-per-view? Alright.
Sure.
Actually, the third point in 2009 would be the one. Yeah. That would have been AJ and Joe, or AJ and Daniels and Kurt Angle and Desert Wolf. So, yeah, that would have been a good one. We don't get those. No. Yeah, but you could give it to some of us for punishments. We wouldn't mind that kind of stuff. There might actually be a review I can read. That'll do it for this. This will be uploaded in a double shot with Turn Point 2010. Because Turn Point 2010 is only like 12 minutes. And we'll be back on Monday with the weekly show reviews. One of twice, I think, we'll be doing in the next 2 weeks. So. Those make the return like a month. And then on Friday with the Star Series 09 review. And then catch us on the Touring Time podcast where we discuss the various tag team and professional wrestlers.
Yeah, available on Spotify and YouTube.
And wherever you get all your podcasts. Wait, maybe not. I just used to hear it out loud. Don't listen. There was Spotify, YouTube. See you then.
Yes.